People, let me explain something to you. Before you go wasting your money on this, let me show you why you should be opting for this instead. And I know I'm about to get a lot of slack for this, but people, just roll on with me for a minute. If I'm being honest, I feel like I'm about to desecrate my beautiful TDS creative decoupage tissue paper with this purple glue stick. But we're gonna do it. At the end of the day, one of the things that I feel like people don't talk enough about is when you use glue sticks, and I'm gonna do it instead of doing it all over the whole thing. Let's say you're new to crafting and you're just trying to get something stuck on here, okay? Here we go. We got a nice, amount of glue. That's gonna turn white as it dries. We're gonna put our pretty paper down on it. And then we're gonna go like this, okay? Now, something that I want you to keep in mind is this glue over time is going to dry out, okay? This will eventually peel back up. The reason why I say opt for this, people, feel free to do your due diligence and fact check me on the things that I'm claiming in this video. This is gonna actually soak into your wood. This is going to lay on your surface. It's not created the same way that this is created. While the price is similar, if you're going to use a craft glue to decoupage or to craft with, I recommend this over this. This is great. It has its places. This is awesome for paper crafts, but paper crafts, I wouldn't recommend it for decoupage. And come here. Let me show you why. I raised it up better in the light. See the bubbling already? This is not going to level itself out. That is also not going to soak in to your tissue paper like if you use liquid glue, okay? And here's the other thing. This is already mostly dry and I'm able to peel it up already. When you use an actual medium or the liquid glue, once it's dry, you're not going to be able to peel this up. And you shouldn't have to oversaturate something to get it to stick. So if you want to use a glue that is going to work well on wood or glass, wouldn't recommend using this either. And honestly, if you're trying to save money overall, it's good to find yourself a craft glue that's going to be more multi-purpose than let's grab the cheapest thing off the shelf and let's just craft with it because it works. But how well and how long is this going to work? Is it actually going to save you money in the long run? And for me, that's one of the biggest questions or biggest statements I get in my socials in the comments where people are like, I just use Elmer's glue. It's cheaper. But is it? And here's why I say that, people, let's be real here. If you're a crafter, chances are this is your hobby and you're going to be doing this for quite some time. And I've been doing this long enough to know that I get real annoyed if I put something together and a piece pops off later on down the road. And what I've learned through the years, starting with things like the glues that we showed you, is that eventually things start popping off. And to save you some money, depending on what you're creating, if you're just a paper crafter, by all means, highly recommend this. If you want to use a glue that will stick to wood and give you a longer chance of not falling apart, I recommend the liquid glue. But if you're looking for something that will save you money long term, hold on multiple different surfaces, and use as a multi-purpose type thing, then I recommend using something like this. So some takeaways for you to think about next time you're walking into the store and you want to get yourself some glue is, what is your end result that you're trying to figure out? Obviously, there's different glues for different projects. Just remember that the purple glue is a surface glue and can dry out over time, even dry out in the tube. Liquid is going to give you the ability for more even coverage, and it's going to seep into your wood pieces, at least if you plan on using them on your wood pieces. So just keep that in mind. Here's a cute little envelope I made with the purple stick. Then I wanted to also show you how utilizing this on wood along with the same type of decoupage tissue paper allows you the ability to spread it really evenly across the surface and has minimal ridges or bumps because it's able to seep into that paper. And once this one's dry, it's stuck one there. I cannot peel it back up. I'm not gonna lie, Dollar Tree is one of the best places to grab budget-friendly craft items. But grabbing fairy lights from Dollar Tree, people, you should save your money. One, the piece itself, I'm not sure if the price is now $1.50 or $1.75. Regardless, you need batteries. So that's more money. So you gotta buy this, then you gotta pay for the batteries. And then one of the things that I hate is how big this sucker is. Do you know how difficult this is? Sticking it behind something if you're trying to hang something on the wall or hiding it inside of a vase. Look at that eyesore. And you can forget trying to tape this on the back of one of these glass bottles so you can get this to glow. When I first started crafting, I was struggling trying to find pieces that made sense for the decor items that I was creating and even reselling, especially when I would make pretty bottle art like this. So like most of us do, I went to the internet to find something that worked for my DIY projects, especially if I was going to be reselling pieces. I wanted something that was easier to hide, and I found these beautiful pieces. So if you were not aware that these existed, these are fabulous. They have a little tiny button and they're very easy to hide. Even if you wanted to attach them onto the back of a bottle, they're way less visible than the larger pieces. But in the event that you didn't want to attach them onto the back of a bottle, you can get these little pieces also off Amazon, and they fit right on the top. I could shove this in the bottle, but if I'm being honest, I don't feel like it right now. Just imagine it glowing. Both of these come in packs of like, I don't know, 10, 12, 16, something like that. And they're around $10. They last forever. I can't even count how long. This particular one and every bottle DIY, this is like my little staging piece. I've been using this for a hot minute. And this one has just been sitting off to the side over there. And they last for quite some time. So yeah, you'll spend a little bit more money initially, but in the long run, they're going to give you the best bang for your buck. People, this next one, I don't even have any to share with you because I've just discontinued them out of my whole craft life. And that's mini vacuums. I do not use them little suckers. If you have ever seen these things, they're super cute, right? You're like, I need to get one. You don't. If you want a mini vacuum, I would literally save your money and splurge to get one of these handheld joints over these little mini pieces. I've had multiple ones over the years and they're great at first, but they stop working. They don't really suck up the stuff off the desk. And here, after 6 years on YouTube, this is what I've decided to use to clean up my table. From Dollar Tree. Okay, this is what I have absolutely decided upon. Okay, and then after I'm done wiping my table off with this, I will take a baby wipe and then clean any extra crusty bits off my table. And that's how I roll with it. Take that information and do what you want with it. People, I know you want every cute little craft tool. Every time you pop on a social and somebody's got this and somebody's got that, you want to spend your money, off you go like this, and then add it to the hoard. But I promise you, you don't need it like you think you do. There is probably something else that you already own that you can use that will do the job just fine. And I say that because I bought this crocodile doodad because I seen somebody using it. It's like, I need her. Okay, I need her. But guess who didn't? Guess who didn't need her? Let me explain something to you. Okay, a regular hole puncher is all I needed because I got this thinking it would be cool for me to have the, you can adjust the hole size and all. Really, it's good for metal and wood. You don't really need it for paper crafts at all. So unless you want I have found that the cool little doodads we think we need for crafting ends up our brains saying, get it, because you feel like you gotta have it. And in reality, we didn't even do the research behind it that it requires for us to use the tool properly. We probably don't even, like, let me explain something to you. I decoupage, okay? This is gonna blow some of y'all's minds. I don't really use this ever. I use this so sparingly, and I don't even know what that is on there. Like, I don't even know. I can't remember the last time I used this. I know some people, this is like their jam. They use sprayers all the time and decoupage. I got it because I felt like I needed it. I seen another decoupage artist using it. I was like, hey, give me one of them. And my talent, my technique does not use that, and I'm able to get a flawless finish. So get to know yourself a little bit with what you like crafting, what you like doing, how you do things before you go splurging on all the little doodads, because you could just be wasting your money. I feel like I've been talking about this one a lot lately. My hands are cold. It's cold down here, y'all. Feels nice. If you have a hairdryer, you do not need to waste money on a heat gun. And I have had some of the cheaper heat guns that are like $8 and $9, and they went up super quick. I've had this one for a couple years. This was gifted to me, and this sucker has lasted for quite some time. So if you are going to purchase a heat gun, I do recommend splurging and buy the better ones with the better reviews. And if you don't want to waste the money, you don't have to. A hairdryer will do the job just fine. And if you don't want to use your hairdryer, you're worried about ruining it, and you can't afford to go getting another hairdryer, and you have a regular fan around your house. I gotta sleep with a fan at night, y'all. I just need the noise. I like the ASMR of that joint, okay? You could get your fan, put whatever your project is on a table, and then just have the fan blowing onto the project, okay? Just wing it, get crafty with it. There are other ways of being able to get your projects to dry a little bit quicker if you don't want to waste your money on a heat gun. A common misconception, I think, when we start crafting is we feel like we need to go buy all of the things to be able to create projects. We hit Dollar Tree, we hit up the craft stores, we grab all of this stuff and try to figure out what we can make out of it. When in reality, we don't have to spend any money at all. Let's not get too wild. We will need paint and some paintbrushes, you know, crafting basics. But we can trash to treasure a ton of DIY projects. And before you go snubbing your nose thinking, Brandy, I'm not going to trash to treasure home decor. Now, I will say, I won't trash to treasure TP rolls, okay? Toilet paper rolls just give me the cringes because they were near the doo-doo bowl, and it's a whole no. But seriously, if you haven't thought of it before, you're really missing out. I am always trying to share ways that we can keep things out of the landfill and bring awareness to that in this community. And one of the things that I love is I've created a community over on Facebook called the TDS DIY Community. And I asked them to share, and they've recently been doing a challenge of trash to treasure. I asked them to share a bunch of their projects because I wanted to show you guys some people that are in this community that are probably at home watching these videos right now the same time you are, and they're beautiful trash to treasure projects. I do not dote on this community and how much I admire the people that are in it enough. While this started about 1.5 years ago as a place for people to come and share their TDS creative DIYs they made using products from my line, they share items that they create using all different things. It's not just inclusive to my brand. I want people to feel like they can just share things that they create that make them happy. And even if they just had a bad day and they want to rant about whatever is going on, it's a safe space because we're all family and helping each other. So whenever this community does the Trash to Treasure challenges, it always makes my heart happy because of how much actual waste is tossed into the landfills every single year. The amount of things we have laying around our house, even books, for example, over 320 million books are tossed away every single year in the United States. Many of these are just in landfills due to overproduction. One of the biggest battles we face is plastic because it takes hundreds of years for it to break down. So for those of you at home like me who rescue your trash and like to create with it, thank you. Next up is going to be buying everything new. You do not have to waste your money doing that. I'm going to give you a great example right here. I know our knee jerk is going to be to go to Hobby Lobby and Dollar Tree and Dollar General and Michael's and all the craft stores that you can get your hands on and go grab pieces and build you a bear piece. Like this piece right here that I made not too long ago from Dollar Tree, okay? But let's dissect it for the fun of it for a second, okay? So we have several palettes that I purchased here from Dollar Tree. My decoupage tissue paper, okay? Because I wanted to keep it in the realm of something that I thrifted off here on the side. And then we have another Dollar Tree piece, in addition to all the popsicle bits and the staples, okay? Because technically we spent money on that as well. So for this Build-A-Bear piece, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 pallets. That's $1.50 each. $1.50, $1.75. Okay. I'm not going to include the tissue paper at this point, but let's also, because you could use whatever from Dollar Tree instead of having my decoupage tissue paper. I just wanted to use this because the item that we're going to compare it to, right? And then the popsicle sticks, so a pack of popsicle sticks. So we're already over $5. So let's just round here and say that it's about $8-ish to make this piece, okay? I thrifted this, I want to say it was $4.99. So you can completely thrift a piece and transform it into something else without having to buy a bunch of new things. One of the reasons that I like buying new is to create Build-A-Bear pieces and give you guys inspiration and ideas for things that you can make at home. But I don't always feel like it's the most budget-friendly way to create DIY projects for your home. Here's another example. Dollar Tree, mini pallets, 2 on the sides, okay? The large wood pieces, okay? We're talking about $7 right here. For this cute little shelf, again, not including the pretty napkin that's on here, so roughly about $7. And I say that because I am pretty sure that I made this back when the price increase first started. Okay. This cute little piece, look at her, isn't she pretty? I bought her intact for just $4, okay? So keep in mind when you want to DIY something, sometimes the better deal is definitely walking on over to the thrift stores and seeing what you can pick up. This next one might seem a little self-serving, especially since I have my own stencil line, but I do want to bring attention to the fact that not all stencils are created equal. And as crafters, and some of us can paint and some of us struggle with decoupage, and stencils are an easy way to be able to get beautiful designs on pieces. You can waste money on disposable stencils, and you can waste money even on the mesh stencils because they wear over time. And I know the mesh stencils are absolutely beautiful because of the detail in them, but if you want to save money, okay, and not waste money on stencils, you want to grab Mylar stencils. Mine are Mylar stencils, and if you don't want to purchase mine, you can absolutely, the reason why I came out with my own line of Mylar stencils is because I loved using the Mylar stencils that you can grab in packs off Amazon or Temu, okay? And you can get giant packs. I have so many stencils, y'all. Absolutely love these. They wash easy. They're absolutely fabulous to use, and they can wrap around things. They're just a little bit more difficult with certain spaces depending on how they're cut. So you will have to tape them down differently. But I hate to see people wasting money on stencils. I have heard them talk about over the years, especially with the ones that have the tackiness on the back, and then it stops being tacky, they'll respray it, or they struggle wiping it down or forget to wipe it down, then they just throw them out and they're expensive. A budget-friendly alternative is grabbing the Mylar stencils, and they're also fairly inexpensive. One of the biggest mistakes I feel like people jump into when they start crafting, especially when you see all the pretty papers online, and if you like to decoupage or junk journal, is to go grabbing just any printer and thinking any printer is going to get you great results. This is a hill I'm willing to stand on, and people can argue with me in the comments about it, and you can put your opinion down there. But from someone who has their own papers manufactured and tried herself to manufacture and print her own papers and has went through over 7 printers in 1 year, I know what I'm talking about. And the reason I went through 7 of them is not because 7 of them didn't work. It's because when I was trying to print things, decoupage things, and resell things, I realized that not all ink works properly for what you're trying to craft with. And in doing so, I learned so much. And this is why what I'm about to tell you is going to save you a ton of money. Well, if you're in the market of wanting a printer. First, you're going to want to ask yourself, what do you want a printer for? If you're looking for something to be able to print out craft paper so you can decoupage it onto something, or junk journaling and be able to put sealers over it and attach different things onto it, you're going to absolutely want to go laser printer, okay? And get a colored one. If you want to know my preference, I am partial to Canons. I have had Epsons, Brothers, I've had the printers. I like Canons, HP, I am not tech savvy, y'all. And that's why I lean towards Canon. Their setup is easy, and I usually don't even have to attach my phone and all the things to it. If I go to hit print from anything, I can be anywhere in my house and it just prints out that printer as long as I send it to it. So that is why I'm partial to Canon, not necessarily because the view of the paper is better with the artistry or anything like that. For me, it is just how easy it is because I'm not tech savvy. And I know that sounds funny coming from somebody that does this for a living. If you're not worried about decoupage, but you just want to be able to print out pretty pieces to put in frames and stuff like that, and you're not going to be putting anything over top of it, then you could absolutely get yourself an inkjet and get one of those refillable joints, and the ink lasts forever. Here's one of my cardstock pieces that I recently created for Whatnot. I do live selling over there, and I have cardstock pieces that you can use for junk journaling that I design and I will print out. But I let them know in advance not to decoupage over these. You can absolutely cut out the back and glue them down, and it's super pretty. This has been in a common misconception. People will be like, well, if you let it sit, the ink will dry. If it's an inkjet, okay, not if it's a laser. If it's a laser printer, this will print out. There will be no issues. An inkjet printer, it doesn't matter if you let it dry. Now you can get some Mod Podge spray and then let it sit. That helps, I find, a little bit. But this has been about a week. I'm just going to spray over top of it, okay? Here we go. I think y'all will be able to see a little bit better here, at least with the smaller pieces. So for example, you can see how sharp the design is right here, okay? You can see how sharp it is. And then you can look at this one, see how this is blurred, how sharp it is, how blurry it is at the top, how down at the bottom it's kind of sharp, blurred, blurred. This one's really good. This one's sharp. So you can see, even though this has sat about a week, see how the bleeding is coming out through here? Even though this has sat for about a week, it does not matter. That inkjet ink is still going to run. So if you want to decoupage, if you want to make prints that you're able to put a medium over top of and seal it properly, you want to invest your money on a laser printer. And that's going to be it for today's video, people. Thank you all so much for stopping by and hanging out with me. As always, I hope you got some information out of this video that helps you on your DIY journey. As always, I appreciate you. And until next time.